Welcome back to DBL. With every passing week, we get a little bit closer to what we hope is the end of the pandemic, but there are still many questions. Dr. Payal Kohli joins us live. There she is. Hey. Today we are tackling viewer questions. Okay, Dr. Kohli? So Daniel asks you, quote, I read that there's a connection between bald men and severe COVID-19. Is that true? Interesting.
Very interesting, and indeed it is true. So we know that men with COVID do worse than women, so there has to be some sort of hormonal component to that. We also know that men that are bald have a genetic predisposition to being more sensitive to androgens, and that sensitivity actually confers risk for a number of different illnesses, so more heart disease, more diabetes, and the newest study that's telling us that you may actually do worse with COVID, have a 2 times higher risk of ending up in the hospital and a higher risk of ending up in the ICU. So, you know, it's really hard because it's really the short end of the stick for people that lose their hair prematurely, but also have a higher incidence of these types of conditions.
My friend's wicked smart.
I was listening. I was like, I would have thought that was the most ridiculous thing.
I thought she was going to say that's false.
I would have shot that down when one of my friends said it.
That was so interesting. Okay, so Kelly wants to know, it's wedding season. Do you think guests should be separated depending on their vaccination status?
So first of all, Kelly, I will say what you guys were just saying a few minutes ago, which is that you should not be inviting people to your wedding that are not vaccinated, because that is a perfect recipe for disaster and for creating a super spreader event out of your wedding, which is the last thing that you want to do. But if you are going to go ahead and have an event or a wedding with people that are not vaccinated, actually it seems counterintuitive, but the best thing to do is to mix the vaccinated and unvaccinated people according to a recipe. So you want to take 1 or 2 unvaccinated people at the table and put 8 or 9 vaccinated people there. The last thing you want to do is put all the unvaccinated people together, because if even one of them is sick and doesn't realize it, he or she's going to make the entire table sick. But if you mix them with the vaccinated people, everyone is sort of relatively protected.
Wouldn't that be like kind of an example of like a microcosm of herd immunity?
That's exactly right, Al. You're absolutely right. So that's exactly what you're creating, is that most of the people are immune. So even the person that doesn't actually have immunity biologically gets immune because the other people can't spread it to them. The other thing that I thought was interesting, you guys, is that wedding planners are giving people wristbands. So red, yellow, or green. So red means just give me a wave. Yellow means I'm okay for an elbow bump. And green means bring it in for a hug. So what do you guys think about that?
I'm down with that. That's cool. I think like a lot of people that just are crazy, weird about their space should be able to say that without having to say it with their words. All right.
So what color is your wristband going to be, Al?
I'm a hugger. You know me. I got the double green band on.
Wow.
I'm here for it. All right, okay, so Pete writes in, he says, Dr. Kohli has discussed before COVID-19 variants, but I'm hearing more about the India variant. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so this variant, unfortunately, I have a lot of friends and family that have been affected by it, but it's a very aggressive appearing mutant. So it actually has over 12 mutations, but really 2 famous ones, one that makes it more sticky to cells and one that makes it kind of evade the immune system. And what we know now is that this is here in the United States. It's going through community spread, meaning it's in people who haven't traveled to India. We don't yet know if the vaccines work against it, and we don't yet know how much more aggressively it spreads. But if you're seeing what's happening in India, it really does make you worry. So if there was ever a good reason to go and get that vaccine, this is a good one, because this variant is here now and we have to try to slow its spread.
India had 400,000 positive COVID cases in one day, just a couple of days ago. It's absolutely heartbreaking.
You know, I'm having family members call me nearly every other day from India where the whole family is down.
Wow.
You're talking families of 5 or 6 people because they have a blended family structure, and it really breaks your heart.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Dr. Kohli. Wow. Well, thank you for answering those questions. We appreciate you as always. We'll be right back.